Ugh. All right. Fresh off, I guess, a night's sleep after watching, for me, The Rings of Power, episode numero 5. Uh, I had trouble getting out of bed. I am sick, but I think part of it was a deep depression from what I watched. I know you just watched it today. How
Yeah.
are you feeling, man?
Oh, I'm feeling like crap, but you know, it was it just it's just I will say this, and this does not come across as high praise whatsoever, but this was the best episode of the season.
See, I don't know. You told me that, and I'm like, I and I know that's not lapping on praise because if this was if
Mm,
the rest of the season is worse, you're putting it in like a negative point 0.5, and then this
yeah.
was maybe a 0
So
or a point 0.5.
I'm trying to remember. The first episode was the highest one that I had rated, and I think I was giving it a generous 2. Like, I was
Yeah,
being
is that
extremely
where you were?
generous and giving it a 2, so it was barely a 2. This one, it's easily a 2. Um, I could possibly be coaxed into a very giving and, uh, a benevolent 3. But
See, I don't.
but
I don't know, man. So
just
many things bothered me. The music was all off and just over the
oh,
top. Like, so let's just get into this, man. What a frick! And there's one scene that I already have some rant fuel for if anybody loves those rants. There will be one coming out because there is a scene that just threw me over the edge. I was watching it. We didn't get to do the live watch, so it looks like we might be doing live watches on my channel next week. We will see. Trying to get that together, but we did have a chance to do a live watch. A lot of people sick and not feeling well, on top of other things. Not because of the show, just we're all sick at once for some reason. I don't know how that happened, but uh, it's a conspiracy to stop us from live watching Rings of Power. Uh, but uh, but everything, the music was off, the acting was off, nothing made sense. But let's just, so we start the episode, right? Where do we start the episode? We start the episode with
Mhm.
what made the last episode a little better than others, with the Harfoots. Yay. Aren't you
Yeah,
excited to be
but
with the Harfoots? Here's
so
a picture of a
when
Harfoot.
that opened up, coming up over the dry grass, I I
Well,
looked at the screen and like, I effing knew it.
well, yeah, well, and
I was so mad.
you know what made me lose it was the did the things in her hair blossom, or did she put new stuff in, like, did they get so
I
old in her hair that they took root and now are growing in her hair, or did she put new
it
stuff in her hair?
honestly, to be honest, the things in the Harfoot's hair are the only wardrobe changes that occur in this show.
I think you're right, because what is it? The Gilgalad? Is it Gilgalad? Yeah. Wait. I
Yeah.
is that the
Nobody does any damn laundry in this
they
show.
all are wearing the
None.
exact same thing. They all wear the exact same outfit. It's crazy. But that so I mean, we get all this. Let's see. I'll come off of this and I'll get to another clip here. But like
Yeah.
the whole Harfoot part, just like so you're meant. Tell me if you're meant to think that they've been abandoned at this point. Is that how you felt, that they've fallen
Yeah.
behind and they're on their own? Yes.
Yeah, it's disjointed because you feel like they've been abandoned, and then they go through this little montage of moving about, and then you see the other group in the distance, as they're going through the marshes, and
Is
so
that what
it's
this is?
no, that
Is that
no,
the other ones way down on the road there? Is that what that is? Like way down here? Is that the other Harfoots?
no, that's not what I was thinking because
Oh, okay.
that's
You're talking, let me see if I can
pretty.
find the marsh one you're talking about, because I thought they were just abandoned.
Yeah, it's not. It's probably just a minute, maybe
Oh,
30 seconds
I
after
think
that.
this might be it. I think about it, but continue. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yes, yeah, so right there at the upper right
Right here.
looks to be everybody else.
Okay.
Now, when you look back down to where they are, though, it looks like it looks from this point of view that they're down to 1 cart,
Yeah,
when in the
exactly.
previous scene it was 2. So,
3.
their
I think at one
continuity is
point they had 3, didn't they?
their carts had babies and then they
Well, it's like that's the other thing is, like, how slow are the Harfoots? We go through so many like, the ones that don't have broken carts. We go through
Huh?
so many Indiana Jones, map overs here
Yes.
to go over the distance that they've traveled. Okay, okay, so what, did they morph into one giant cart like Voltron robots? Is that what
Yeah.
happened? They became
A
one large Voltron cart?
and why is that front court trans the cart transporting just hay?
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause hay is life.
Or is that one other retarded chick's, house?
Maybe maybe that's her house. I don't know, and then they're living I guess they're in the cart, I guess, living there. Oh, wait, it looks like to be fair, it looks like maybe they're pushed together so they can sleep in that one
Maybe.
view. Is that it? Maybe? I guess, I don't know. It's still
Right.
it looks like they made it's like, I don't know, it just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
How slow like,
and
you do all I thought they had been abandoned at this point because they obviously are up against it. Their cart is, like, breaking, and the other Harfoots aren't supposed to be giving a crap at this point. They've got this outsider, uh,
yeah.
they don't give a crap, right? Is that not what we're supposed to be believing at this point? No?
Yeah. Well, and then you got the one lady telling, Sad Sack Burrows, like, "Oh, you should have taken their wheels and left." It's like,
Yeah,
"Wait a
that
minute,
was later too.
you basically left them behind anyway. They
Yeah,
haven't caught up."
let me yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's like these are supposed to be the lovable, hobbit types that we are supposed to like, right?
Right.
And here she's like, "No, you should have abandoned them." It's like, "What?"
And Sad Sack's like, "Oh," you know,
The
uh,
squalls are
there's
strange.
there
It's
there there is so much wrong with this whole section.
There he is.
You don't know why do they have a migration? Why are they nomadic? You know, that's it's not explained,
At
because
least not well. I
normally
think they tried to, but it's just like
it could
it
be.
doesn't make any sense. Like, why are
Yeah,
you moving? I don't know. To hide. To hide from what? Like, people? Like, I don't it's like I
yeah, but at the beginning, those people with the moose antlers were like, "Oh, we gotta get away from the Harfoots." Like, "What? What? What are
yeah.
you talking about?" What you think they're gremlins? You know, none of it makes a lick of sense whatsoever. There's really no purpose behind it, and
Yeah,
I told you this earlier,
that look is the
but
viewer right there, right here. This is the perfect look for the viewer. Utter confusion and
what am I
grass growing
watching?
out of our hair.
And a line from Discbro, possible thumbnail number 1.
Yeah.
But, like, when you watch this, I honestly think that Payne and McKay sat there and thought of a conclusion to the 1st season, or maybe it's to the whole series, and then said, "Okay, now how do we get there?" And worked their way backwards and didn't do it properly, so everything is just kinda like this, throwing spaghetti against the wall. And, it's worse than, like, Seinfeld, where Seinfeld would be about one thing each episode. For this show, it's scene by scene, it changes the purpose, and it doesn't none of it makes any sense, and you had the girl sing that one song, and which was all about quoting stuff from Tolkien, which I could see in my head Corey's head just absolutely exploding watching this. You know?
I
Oh,
just it's so yeah, I don't yeah.
it
So,
it was really bad. The language barrier between the wizard and the one chick
oh god, I'm
is a
so over it.
joke,
I'm so over it. It's like
you know?
we're definitely going to be all over the place with this because it's like
Yeah.
as any video of mine, we're just gonna go for it, right? But
Yeah.
so, like, Gandalf, and we're just gonna call him Gandalf because that's who he is. He's Gandalf
Yep.
because you know what? Everybody. It's not transparent. We all know it. This is how Gandalf is supposed to develop his deep love for the hobbits because they remind him of this little girl Harfoot who took him under her wing when he first came to Middle Earth, and she made sure nothing happened to him. So he loves all the little people because they remind her of the Harfoot that saved his life and made him a real boy. Right? That's what all this is. Right? It's not. It's completely transparent, and all this BS. And it comes to like, and I'm just gonna go to the part that pissed me off the most about. Well, I should say the most about the Harfoots. First, I thought they were gonna eat all the mushrooms off the tree and get loaded. That would have been cool. Like, I would have loved to see that scene where the Harfoots just get all loaded together.
Yeah, well, that was an example of what it looked like in the writer's room.
I actually have a great question for you, sir, and answer honestly.
Okay.
The best hiding spot you can find when you have a pack of hungry, ravenous wolves after you is what? In a tree that has no branches or nothing to protect you, not even climbing it. You're just going to climb into the branches of the tree. That is a great place to hide, correct? Right? That's where you're going. You're not going to try. Yeah. Okay. Because that is literally what they do. They jump into. Oh, God. Yeah. Wait, I went way too far.
For a race that is renowned for being able to get into places and hide away from things.
So that is where they
hide.
They
are incredibly bad at it.
That is where they hide. They hide. They got these wolves. I guess they're wolves. I don't know what they were. They're like half pig, half wolves, whatever they are. Man, bear, pig. Right. But this is their great hiding spot. They don't even try and climb. They don't even try to like. I mean, eventually she starts trying to pull a twig off. Like, why she's not just picking one of those twigs up to the left there and using that as a weapon.
Yeah, because that's what Arondir used with the orc in the third episode. When he was being pulled by the chain, he pulled off a branch.
He used a little twig. I mean, twigs are awesome weapons, right? Look at Shad's video, the mighty stick, right?
Who knew?
Mean, yeah.
When in doubt, use kindling.
Yeah, but so right. So they hide there, which great hiding spot. Nothing's ever going to get you there. No way, right? The tree musk must be too much for them. Now, this is where I thought this was going to turn into an ent or something and save them. So I was sort of glad that didn't happen. So we saved that one. But then what we get to? Let me see if I can click to it here. Oh, I went too far. Let me see. Here, let me take this off here. But so what happens next? So I can find the screenshot here.
Yeah, the ground Hadouken.
The ground Hadouken. Oh my god. So first these things actually I don't mind the way these things look. I actually sort of like them. I don't know what they are.
It's a lot better than the wargs.
Yeah, I sort of like the way these things look. So, one point.
Now, I will say that the upper fangs that go up from the upper gums.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's retarded.
Yeah, what are they using those for? Are those like misgrown horns?
Right.
Oh man,
evolution has failed you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is this where we get space? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to risk playing it. Here we go. Ready for Space Hadouken? Here it comes. Ready?
Yep.
Oh. Pa! What? I mean, what is that? It's like you just fall. It's like I go ahead.
And then like that happens, and then they they just turn and run away.
Yeah, they just attack them once, and then
if they're hungry animals, they're not going to stop being hungry because Big Bad Gandalf sat there and blew wind at them.
If anything, they'd be more pissed off because it's like, okay, I'm hungry. There is lots of food sitting right behind you,
right?
And you're what the heck is happening? No, we're not good. We're just gonna run the hell off. I'm trying to see if I can find a scene of them. Oh no, the only scene I can get is of him showing that he's messed up his arm.
Yeah, all that ice thing.
Well, no, not even the ice thing. The ice thing is what pisses me off the most about this episode because I'll get to that here in a bit. Well, I should say the most. There's a lot that pisses me off. Oh, there they go. They run away. Yeah. Here it is. So now they're running away. They're running away. Flee. So, I mean, look, I guess if they're hurt, I don't know. I I don't think that would have deterred them, especially with him now being injured and incapacitated and not knowing what the hell he did. It seems like I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm tired of stumbly, grumbly. I don't know anything, Gandalf. If you're gonna do it, just like I don't know. It's just so
Yeah.
annoying.
Well, when you sit there, we can go to the much maligned Hobbit movies, and the wargs chase them up trees.
Yeah.
They climb the trees, and they fought the wargs with fire. You know, all of that is believable in the setting that you're in. In this setting, when you have a Deus Ex Machina of Gandalf appearing out of absolutely nowhere, because he was not around them at all in any setup scene for this. He appears out of nowhere and then blows them away with whatever that was.
He's an
You know,
airbender.
yeah.
He's
You
an
know,
airbender. Yeah.
They've set up no. Well, they didn't set up no magical ability because you got the fireflies. Never mind that whole freaking comment at the beginning. I'm chaos or whatever it was.
I don't know. Oh my God, yes, I remember that too. But it's like
but if making fireflies do what he orders leads to, is your magical opening to him slamming the ground like this, you're kind of going from here to here.
Yeah, well, and it's like, what are we supposed to believe? He hit the ground and shattered his, like, is that what caused all the damage here, or was it the magic, or did he hit the ground so hard that he hurt his arm?
Yeah,
I don't know, right? And then the other thing about this scene that I forgot about, and I didn't get there. I'm not going to go find an image for it, but was that the whole he grabbed the wolf out of midair.
Oh yeah,
Threw it, and I like the people. Like I was watching it with Derporial and Lady Balefire, and I'm like, does Gandalf have like super strength? Do we know? Like, is Gandalf supposed to have like? Is he supposed to be super strong? I don't know. Is he?
No, he's an Astari. He is very powerful in magical elements, but he's not this super strength character. If you would eliminate his magical abilities, there would probably be a good debate to be had whether or not he could best Boromir or Aragorn in a battle.
Yeah, because I know he's a good swordsman, but not the right. I mean, so he could hold his own,
Yeah.
but
Right.
But then you get to this scene, and this was probably the one that pissed me off the most out of all the Harfoot scenes. Is he's obviously doing like she is just a galactic idiot, like she is stupid. He's obviously doing something in the water here, right? And I know you're supposed to be like, oh, she's trying to help him, and it's like, so he's doing this in the water. He's obviously grunting and making some noises, and this ice is forming, right?
Which looks fake as hell, by the way.
It looks terrible. It looks horrid. All right, so this ice is forming. It's going up his arm and doing whatever it's doing, right? So then let's see if I can get to it without. She's watching it, okay, and then she just grabs it.
Right.
Why would you do that? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like you're an idiot. What? Like
you know what should have happened?
She should have lost her whole arm.
Thank you. It should have shattered as she was blown backward.
Yes, because look, so she's now grabbed his arm, right? So first, what are you thinking? You're not going to be able to do anything, even if this is a bad thing that's happening to Gandalf. What are you going to do? What is your hand going to do to stop it? Nothing.
But Steve, even the smallest person can change the course of history.
Obviously, not the course of ice, apparently, right? Ice is too much for a small person, apparently. But then, so we'll just watch it. It's going. So of course, eyes are all big because I didn't think this through because I'm a dummy. So ice is forming, and her hand is now just basically dry ice.
It looks so daggone fake.
It looks terrible.
It just is. I mean, no pun intended, but it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's just
So
how bad that
let's
is.
get to. I'm trying to. Oh, no, so now her hand is so frozen to him, she cannot pull her hand off of it.
It's like Ralphie and the flagpole.
Yeah, exactly. Only worse because you can see it's supposed to be in her bones. Look at it all the way up her arm. Like her hand is frozen solid, right? So now then we're gonna get to the explosion part here in a second. Where oh my god, I'm crying. You're hurting me. And now
Oh,
Gandalf, the big man,
at least it
Gandalf.
wasn't a male crying this time.
Oh, Jesus. And why? Like, so what does this have to do with him landing in the crater? Do we have to harken back to that? Because we're just playing this mystery box thing where we have to. This is like the Dragon Reborn thing from Wheel of Time. Who is he? What is he? Is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Who cares? Just pick one.
I'm wondering if it's just their way of trying to communicate to the audience that he has an ability to use this power to break the ice to heal. I don't know. None of it makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, because
you could have had it make sense if you sat there and gave him the ability to communicate right off the bat and explain what he did.
Yeah, well,
you've destroyed that ability.
Well, I think it was Derporial that called him Rain Man. He's like Rain Man Gandalf. He can't quite communicate what he's doing.
Right.
You know, so he blows up. So she explodes. For some reason, her arm is still attached. And now she's, of course, scared of Gandalf because he yelled at her and blew up. It's like, you're just dumb. Like, why would you do that? It's just so aggravating. It's all to produce this this tension. This is he a good guy? Are they harboring? Right. Is he Gandalf or is he a bad guy? Is this Sauron?
And none of it. There hasn't been a bit of that has been believable.
No,
not a single bit.
It's too much, and I think that's all the Harfoot we get. Do we get any more Harfoots in this episode? I don't think so because the rest is given to Broomhilda and Galadriel, who I will continue to call Broomhilda. You know, and then we're trying to. Oh God! And then what we have? Let's see here. Oh yeah, so she. Oh Jesus! What? Why does it first? What is this city? Why do I care about this tower?
Okay.
What why is she the one up there talking about it? Who pronounced her king bitch?
I got another question.
Yeah.
Where the hell did all these people come from? Because that town was never that big.
Well, look at how big it is on the. I mean, there's a panning back shot. You can see how big it is. Where do these people live?
Right.
Do they have houses? Do they live in those? What do they eat? Are they farming? Yeah. Where are their crops? Where is anything? They just live off the water, and the tower provides.
The tower is always right.
Yeah. What makes this tower special? Like what?
Yeah. And why is she the only one wearing anything in color?
Let alone a tank top.
Ladies,
wearing a tank top. Hello. Listen, there's nothing that says authority like a woman in a blue tank top. I mean, I don't like. Are we supposed to be listening to her? Because
or this guy. Why would you listen to either of these two?
Why would you listen to? And then I was very confused. Okay, now maybe I just missed it, or maybe I wasn't paying attention because I was busy vomiting. But I thought they were voting on whether to run, not to surrender to the orcs. Like it was my. Now maybe I'm just thinking way too logically here. That they were going, let's just abandon this stupid tower. They could have it. Let's go.
Right. That would have been. Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's what that's what should have been done. But I think that he was. Um, I think I think he did mention because their ancestors they lived.
But I, th-
So it's like,
but I thought he
no
was saying they
shit. You're
lived because they ran, not because they joined the orcs.
yeah, and I think
Like I was so
yeah,
confused later
I'm not sure
because
now.
it's like I thought the whole speech was about surviving, so let's run. Like that's now
Yeah,
again that could be the logical part of my brain kicking in and going, yeah, run. They're never gonna catch you. You're outnumbered like probably. Well, see, that's the other thing. She has no idea what's coming after them. She has no idea the numbers of what they're coming after them. She has no idea when they're going to be there. There's no weapons around here for defenses. There's no food. They've already made that apparent from them having to go
yep.
scavenge this other town. There's no food to be had.
Oh, no,
Why?
no, they
One.
had that one cart of food from last episode that
So,
they
but
brought back.
right. So one cart of food. So what makes
Right,
this uh stronghold such an important stronghold when you can't get anything to defend yourself or live at?
right.
Abandon it. Save your people. Let them have it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like she's sitting here making these. It's like we was told. It's like why, why? You're obviously
right.
struggling there. Move on.
Yeah.
Like and you
Well,
have no means of defending yourself at all.
and that's the thing is if you had a means of defending yourself tactically, that place would be a
Yes.
good position to have. But because of the one scene later on where you see it
Yeah, you can see
way
it's
up
right
there. I
on the
mean, that's
waterfall, right? Yeah.
yeah, it's the high ground. You know, you want that position of strength, but if you don't have anything to keep your people uh, energized and also to defend yourself, then basically what you're doing is you're just barring the gate, hoping that they don't come in.
Yeah, I'm
So,
trying to find the let's see if I can find the waterfall scene where you can see where they
well, that's
there are
much
pretty
later when they're almost at the
it's
town.
pretty close to the end, right? I mean that is it is a very strong oh god. Sorry, we're not
Oh,
quite there yet, but like
yeah. Well,
uh
it's a very strong position. It was the Elf Tower, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
which further begs the question of why the elves didn't see them doing this tunnel. Because
Well,
I think it becomes a clear that when they come to Adar and they say, "The tunnel's finished, my lord," and
yeah,
so it's like, okay, where was the tunnel going to? Well, the tunnel I think is going to that tower. How would they not see that approaching? It is
right, and
considering
if the tunnel's going to the tower, they're screwed anyways. Like
right,
cuz they could just get there.
yeah. And so if the tunnel's going there, the elves by the way that this show does timelines, the elves just abandoned
All
it
right,
to
so hold
leave
on.
back to Valar last week. you know,
All right, so
so-
hold on a sec though. So okay, so hold on, I'm gonna bring this up. So here's the tower. So they all staring like we haven't even got the whole MacGuffin sword thing yet either. So we have to get that the whole
oh
BS
yeah,
with the sword. Uh, but so you got the tower there, and then I just want you guys to see. Look at all of these. I
man,
don't want to
Benjamin
play too
Stark's
much
really
of
let
it.
himself go.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I went way too far. So look at all of these orcs. Look at all of these orcs. Look at all of these orcs. You're telling me you're gonna defend against that?
Right?
I mean, you're right. It's look at all of them down there.
Yeah.
Like,
So
so they're up there. So that right. So great place to defend yourselves if you have the means. If you have skilled archers. If you have,
yeah,
you're gonna eventually run out of arrows, though.
dude, I would seriously take boulders and
Yeah,
just start chucking them down. Like you could even do
absolutely.
rocks, like hand-sized rocks, and just drop them down, and that'd kill from that height.
Yeah,
You know,
but do you think they're
I mean,
gonna do that?
no, I I would be amazed because that would be the intelligent thing to do.
I mean, they should already be doing it. Like, instead of staring
Yeah,
at this tower, like, if you're going to defend it,
yeah,
you're late. If you're going to mount a defense, you are behind right now. You're
yep,
screwed. You
yeah.
haven't. Yeah,
The only thing that has occurred is that two boys went out and got a barrel full of food. That is
yep.
the only thing that they have done to fortify that town. And so at that point, when that lady's up on the parapet talking to people, we can survive this. Um, you fail, bitch.
Yeah, you're
You
done
know?
because they're already there. Again, they are
Yeah,
already there. You can no. Maybe if you had
yeah.
another week to plan and prepare.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
they will
What?
survive it because they have the sun.
Oh God.
There's going to be a whole lot of non-ground cover all the way up on that mountain.
Well,
So
well, and
there's a lot of
we're
angles.
once again back to whether the sun actually hurt, like the orcs care, because like one of the first scenes of the show of the episode
Yeah,
is Adar being outside with an orc who's just bundled up and he's fine until he uncovers his skin. So it's like,
yeah,
what is it?
yeah,
Like, is it just their skin? Because it's like, if it's just the fact that if their skin gets exposed, that they're screwed, that's pretty easy to overcome.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
cover yourself up with mud or something.
Right. And that I don't think that was anything ever established in lore. I think what was established in lore was that they just were better suited for nighttime movement. You
Yeah,
know,
I know
or
that's what made the Urukai special was they were good at traveling during the day as they were at night.
right.
It wasn't specifically given. I didn't think that like their
Yeah.
skin melted in sun. They just
Yeah.
made them
They're not
uncomfortable and like
trolls.
so.
The,
Regardless, it's
the
like
reason trolls turn to stone in the sunlight is because they're made out of the stone.
right. Well, and it's
That's
like
why they go back to stone.
even if the sun burns them, it's like okay, we lay siege and then we hide during the day and then we go back and we keep going. It's like this. The sun's gonna. You're right. It's going to be the sun that wipes them out, if it wipes them out at all. But don't forget, orcs are people too, so we should care about the orcs.
Right. Yes.
Because we
Fit
gotta get
this
some more
Dungeons and Dragons.
we gotta get some more cry seeds about orcs, right, and how they're people
Well,
too.
and here's the thing that I'm kind of concerned about is when we were looking at the Harfoots earlier, what direction were they heading?
Oh shoot, I don't know. What on their map? You want me to go back to
Yeah,
it?
they were going south. You don't need to go back to it.
I think
They
going
they were
south.
heading south
Let's see
because
if I
if you
can-
they got to the Gray Marshes. Now I'm not as
it was
good on.
southwest, I think.
Yeah, no, they were
Southeast,
kind of
southeast.
southeast.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right.
what I'm thinking is because they got even down to like the Gray Marshes, which I think is where the Battle of the Dead Marshes occurred, from the prologue of
Yeah,
Peter Jackson's
you
Lord
know
of the
what?
Rings.
Because Nerporio, when we were watching it, said the exact same thing. He's like, "Is this supposed to be the Dead Marshes?" So that's the feel
Yeah,
he got from it too. It's sort of
yeah,
interesting watching it with some people, then talking to you about it. We're just saying a lot of the exact same
yeah.
observations, right?
So
So what did you think of this
one of
reveal?
oh fuck me. Oh. So Arondir, Don Lemon,
Yes,
he, he
yes.
he said that was a symbol, or
I
what did he
thought
say it was?
was it an altar? I I don't
Oh, the
remember.
sword, because
Oh,
like
the
you got
sword. The
the
sword was
stone.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, a symbol. I think he said he called it a
Yeah,
symbol.
yeah.
Is it
And and it's kind of like
convenient?
it's probably what Adar wants so that he can destroy the sun.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that. Um, and then that would herald the return of Sauron, who's by the way coming over on a boat.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but the problem is they're also conveniently going to have Gandalf arrive in this area about the same time. I'm almost willing to bet you that the migration comes down to where they are
Probably.
for
Oh,
some
it's all
reason.
going to come to a head right here. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and so
boats are going to
Gandalf's going to
land.
be there.
The boats are going to
Yeah,
land right in the middle of a field. They're not even gonna like dock anywhere. They're just gonna show up.
Yes, well, that's because Galadriel will sprinkle her fairy dust over the boats,
Yes.
and it will fly like Peter Pan over the
Yes.
Pelennor fields, and
Yeah.
they'll land at
Yeah. They'll just be wherever
Ostera.
they need to be, right? Because she's perfect. uh, I did laugh because it seemed awful convenient that this is just here. Uh, just it happens to be right here. Just oh hey,
Yeah,
I remember seeing this behind some weeds. It's
right.
like okay,
Some some very heavily overgrown weeds.
yeah,
So how
yeah.
long did you let this overgrowth happen so that you could forget about this while you got elves were manning the tower?
And why is there an altar there that's something that's bad? Wouldn't you want to like destroy that altar if it's like depicting something evil?
Yeah,
Like that's supposed to be evil, right? So I don't know. More of me being confused about what the heck we're actually doing here.
and
And then
it's
well,
one of the
so that
dumbest sword designs.
is Adar trying to bring Sauron back? Are they like in the lore?
Huh.
Because
Here's
like
my theory. I don't know if I'm right or not. At some point during the show, if they get through all 5 seasons, which is highly doubtful, but I think at some point their intent is to reveal Adar as the mouth of Sauron.
that I feel like you said that to me. Okay, but because it's
Yeah.
like well, because I don't know because when the old man brings everybody to I got extremely confused when they all showed up
It's
in
the
front of the
kill
orcs
kid.
to surrender, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? I thought you guys were running. Uh,
Yeah.
no, they're surrendering to Adar, and the guy submits to Sauron, and Adar gets really pissed off.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, wait a second. Uh, I thought so. That's where I'm getting confused. It's like I thought he was doing this for Sauron. I guess not. I don't
I think
know.
he is.
So why
Uh,
is he so mad that this guy called him Sauron? Because he's not worthy of that, or
I'm almost willing to think that because Sauron is a Maiar, I think uh, that's that he looks at being called Sauron as somewhat of a blasphemous kind of thing, like you've just blasphemed my master.
oh, okay, all right,
Because
okay. I love
otherwise,
Fat Boy at
it,
work
it,
back there, though. I have to say.
I know if he's because if he's getting mad because he wants to take over for Sauron, then it is that sword MacGuffin thing. Is that then his way to obtain that power,
Well,
or is he needing that as kind of like the One Ring kind of element in this show to bring Sauron back into the
who
realm?
knows? Like none of
And
it's
and I
good.
and I
Go ahead.
I think the long game is that he wants to open the door for Sauron to come back and rule as their king,
Okay.
and that he would be his lieutenant.
Okay. Well, I'm not getting any of this from this show, so
I'm
thank
not
you for
either.
trying to explain it to me.
This is me kind of having twisted, meandering thoughts about what evil they're working, while at the same time, what's the end game? Because we know he's not Sauron. So if he's not Sauron, what is he? It could be that he's not a man, so he can't be one of the ring wraiths. So what is he then? And we don't know any history behind the mouth of Sauron. It is the only thing we have about the mouth of Sauron is what we get in that one chapter in Return of the King.
So maybe this is him. That'd be cool.
And
maybe.
if
they can do it right,
if they can write it well, it would be a cool thing.
Yeah.
But I don't have any faith in
no.
it and that at all. This is
a good idea.
It's already bastardized enough.
Yeah, a good idea still needs to be executed. While I think that could be a good idea, I doubt that they're going to be able to execute it. But
yeah.
Oh boy. So there was something else. So we got all the preparation for blah 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 for this failing battle that's coming. Did I miss anything with like look at all those orcs?
And half of
Again,
your town left at the beginning of the episode.
run.
Yeah.
Like, is this going to become the,
Bec-
the like the Tower of Sauron? Is that what we're trying to? Is that what this is trying to invoke? That this is going to be the place?
I wonder. Um,
But then, of
because
course,
the other thing too is again this all comes down to preparation too. I guarantee you they're all of a sudden going to have weapons to be able to defend
yeah.
themselves. But the problem is that you've shown none of that. The only things that we've seen Theo shoot a couple of arrows. We see the arrows in his quiver, in Arondir's quiver right now. And that's it.
That's
You
it.
know,
Yep. Well,
you
and you
know,
know what else we've seen? We've seen freaking a goddamn fist of orcs at the bottom of the mountain already.
yeah.
So
But we got Arabian Nights power, women power here.
yeah.
That's you know,
So this is gonna because I'm trying to think of, so we got that because they're gonna try and merge all these things together here, and it's just like it's so clunkily done. Like it's just like everything is just like you're trying to put square pegs in round holes. Like
yeah,
it's just like, and I don't know if it's because the jarring editing is like you go here, you go there, or it's just the lack of things that we should be given information on. We're never given information on. It's like
yeah.
I don't know why
Hmm.
this is why we're trying. They're trying to invoke this Helm's Deep. This is supposed to be Helm's Deep.
Yeah,
This is Helm's Deep.
yeah, it is. They are invoking that, and with this show, it is trying to put a puzzle together using a few pieces from a 500-piece puzzle, a few pieces from a kid's puzzle that a baby has with those little pegs that helps them grip and put it in place, and then another puzzle with like the 9-piece puzzles that 4-year-olds have. I mean, all these different puzzle pieces from different puzzles, and they're just kind of putting it all on the board and saying, "Hey, we got a great show for $1 billion."
What do you think of this guy?
Oh my!
We're blessed with M&Ms. Do we what is do we have any idea what the hell this is?
So this is the chase that's going to push Gandalf and the Harfoots further south. I'm guessing.
So they're gonna chase Gandalf?
I think so, but and it's like
Is this an evil wizard? Like what is this?
I don't
Like
know.
what like these show, like that's the thing, they show up, it's like, okay, am I supposed,
Yeah.
what
By the
am
way,
I,
that's a woman.
this is a woman? This
Yeah,
is a woman?
it is.
Is it?
It is. I'm serious.
Oh good.
Uh,
Well, but
there
still,
was a picture on Instagram or something.
is this supposed to evoke fear in me? Like oh no, these bad people, or am I
Yeah.
supposed to like, oh great, these happy
Look,
people? Like I don't know what I'm supposed to feel from this. This one
the
person's
one
holding a
chick in the
plate.
yes.
It's like
Like, okay,
dinner's done, honey. Come back up. We're ready to travel.
Gandalf has the turkey. We must find Gandalf. I mean, this whole thing, and then she's down at the base, looking at Harfoot footprints or whatever, and it's just kind of like,
I just don't know
who are you?
what am I supposed to be feeling from this at all? I don't
Yeah,
it's like it's episode 5. I don't know what, who, or
that's it.
what are you here for? And
Yeah,
why do I care?
if you are going to be an antagonist element in the show, which the music definitely implies that, everything implies that. But if you're going to be an antagonist in this show, why are you all of a sudden being introduced in episode 5?
Yeah. Well, he's hitting the meth a little hard too. Look at the black fingers.
Yeah,
He needs to lay off that. Oh, I'm sorry. She needs to lay off that stuff.
yeah,
She knows what's
yeah.
good for him. Her.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well,
damn.
they probably got her off the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, here's the sun part I was talking about. It's like he's
Oh.
totally out in the sun. Not Adar, the other guy. and
Yes.
he's roasting because he loves him so much. He's roasting his
You
flesh.
you see the smoke, actually, that's
Yeah, I
funny.
know.
Like,
It's
"Oh,
like
here, give me your arm. Let me give you arm herpes."
yeah, it's like I love you orcs. You guys all deserve the best. Let me roast your arm here a little bit. We'll make you extra crispy, orc number 2. It's like, oh my god. So, but now, so we've talked about. So this has been all over the place, and I'm loving it. But the star of the show. Oh yeah. So here, real
Oh,
quick. So let me. Yeah. So
my
they are
heart
going.
is
I'm going to
just
bring this up
waiting in
just to
anticipation.
confirm. Yeah, they're going southwest, the Gray Marshes. That's where they're headed. So, uh, but you know who I'm alluding to. Uh,
Oh, yes. Mm.
Hallbrand. No. Wait, let me see if I can. Oh my, there's so much just wrong. Like
Middle
everything
Earth
is
Kurt Cobain.
so. All of the Galadriel stuff is just wrong. All of the Isildur stuff is just bullshit. And then you got like I'm trying to find a good shot to even stop on, but it's like I, I'm almost
You
lost for words, man. Like, please
the
say
show is vapid of anything good in
like
it.
these two were not like. And that's the other thing. I don't even know how many days have passed. I don't know. Like, is it tomorrow? These two were just in jail, and they
Yeah,
have done nothing
right.
of any sense or substance that should have freed them from jail, other than
Mhm.
her attacking. I guess it was 4 guards,
Yep,
throwing them into jail, threatening the king,
yep,
breaking property,
yep. And
and
he's
being
also assaulted Numenorian citizens. Both of these two should have been on the gallows,
yes,
and
and
not
now
and very quickly with
yeah.
how these settings would execute justice. These two would have been swinging real quick.
Well, and then on the like the end of last episode, he's free for some reason. They don't. He's just
Right?
he's free. It's
Yeah,
like,
he's up on the parapet, just walking around.
why is he free? Because she's free? Well, that doesn't make any sense. And now, not only is he free, he's in a planning session. Why? What qualification?
Yeah.
Why is
Be-
he?
be-
Why?
because Galadriel found the drawing that's on his little pouch that's hanging from his neck. I mean, seriously, that's the
That's it.
connection.
That's
That
it.
is the connection. Then the only reason why they're even in this room and she's not on a boat, on a rowboat, by the way, to go the rest of the way over the ocean, which is just as believable as her swimming it. But the only reason why she's not on that rowboat is because of the prophecy trope that they use, and because the leaves were falling from that tree. All of a sudden, she does a complete 180 in the matter of seconds
Seconds, and
and
now they're
says, "Oh
besties.
no, I'm so wrong." And what's funny is this whole thing she's doing for her father, because her father was telling her that the elves are going to be harbingers of what needs to be done. But then when she's talking to her father later, he says, "Don't go to Middle Earth."
Yeah, it's
It's like,
doom. You don't go to Middle Earth.
make up your mind.
Well, it's the same thing with the leaves. They were a bad omen, and now they're a good omen. The father's telling you to go to Middle Earth. Now he stoves right out of his mouth and says, "No, don't go." It's like, and
Well,
look, is he sick? Maybe he's delirious. Fine, whatever. But I don't buy it. I'm so
yeah.
tired of this bullshit. It's
Well, but
ridiculous.
and she is Muriel is beyond retarded. The character, how they've written her, is beyond retarded, because when you sit there and see this prophecy, if some element of that prophecy comes to pass, that's supposed to speak to the truth of the following events.
Well,
It's
so
not supposed to sit there and say, "Hey, if this happens, you need to change this, otherwise this is going to happen." That's not how it works.
Well, and you know what I'm hoping is going to happen from all of this, and because what I'm seeing happening, and if it plays out, knowing the little bit of the future that I know, so spoiler alert, if you have Halbrand is Sauron, right? We're all pretty much know that, right? Okay,
Yep.
Numenor falls, correct?
Yep.
So does this make Galadriel the actual the doom brought on these people? She is now bringing she's freeing Sauron from captivity. She's bringing them to Middle Earth. She's bringing the Númenóreans to Middle Earth to be whatever the king said that. So to bring about the doom of Númenor, it's like, so Galadriel's the bad guy. Is that what you're telling me? She's the prophesized doom bringer,
Yeah.
and that's not
That's
how this is going to be played.
yeah. It's not, but that is just by natural order of what has been
If
presented to us. That is
yes,
how it would be. But
that's what I'm
they'll
saying.
deny it.
That's why I'm being very clear about it, because this is what they have presented to us. You have a prophecy that the leaves falling with the elf thing, bad news. Then all of a sudden it's now good news because of whatever. Now a character that we've all foreseen is a bad guy because of histories.
Yep.
Or he should be, or they're going to do some complete 180 to be like, gotcha, which, who knows? They fucking may do that too. But Halbrand is pretty much Sauron, so she is now the single reason that this dude is free and going to be going to Middle Earth. So all of
Yeah.
this is Galadriel's fault. Everything that happens to Middle Earth is Galadriel's fault. Everything that
Yeah.
happens to the Númenóreans is Galadriel's fault.
Yeah. Just like what we'll see in House of Dragon, the house falls. Why? Because of the ladies.
The ladies.
Now,
Well, I don't know.
here
David's doing pretty good to help that out, but
yeah, but well, but the but this prophecy thing. I mean, and I want to harp on this a little bit more because
yeah, of
it is
course.
important. The purpose of prophecy is again to point to things in the elements that are going to come to pass. It's not it's not something, it's not a warning system to sit there and say, hey, if you don't do this, or if you see this, you got to fix it, otherwise this will happen. That's not how it works at all. And the showrunners have completely totally misunderstood this. When you look at prophecy, the one thing happens, so then what do? You keep an eye out for the next thing, because if the next thing happens, then you're seeing an order of events that, oh boy, we're about to get a big bath on this island. That's that it is a harbinger. And so, like when you read Wheel of Time, this is why Robert Jordan understood this very well. And book spoilers for book 2 and 3. But when Rand finally gets it that he's the dragon, what does he do? He says, okay, I'm going to find the most obvious prophecy, and then I'm going to go and do it so that if what I've got in my head right now is true, there can be no argument.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so it wasn't that he was trying to change anything, it was that he was trying to prove it. Have the validation of the theory in his head that
Yep.
I'm this guy, otherwise I'm just a false one.
Yeah, no, prove it to himself too, right? I mean, prophecy
Yeah.
is supposed to mean something, right? So I did laugh at how easily he forged this thing. Like they didn't show him bending steel or anything. He just hit the thing with the hammer a few times, and all of a sudden, wow, it's an engraved sword. Where'd it go? Sorry, if I could. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, no, they're calling him to the super secret meeting. Hold on, let me go back to it if I can find it here. Because, Halbrand is now important. I'm not going to be able to get
Not
it.
only is he important, but all of a sudden now he's blacksmithing.
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, so now he's just got out of prison, right? He's just got out of prison because of Galadriel. So they immediately put this criminal who has assaulted Númenórean citizens to work in a forge making weapons.
Yep.
Sounds like each weapon made by Halbrand is immediately engraved with some BS on it, because that would have taken Uh,
Right?
quite a bit of
You
time
just
to make.
pulled that out of the oil, people.
So I don't know. This is I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, it just bothered me. It's just like, oh yeah, look, perfectly straight swords.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't know. Like, there's a whole bunch of other swords sitting there. Are we to determine that he made all these? Like, let me
Yeah.
see where we can get to it, because they all look the same. Okay, so that's not the scene I'm looking for. I'll go find it. But
Yeah. But, at least they're doing preparation here, unlike in the tower.
yes, at least
You know,
there's
but
something going on.
but if you're in a big press to sit there and try and prepare people for going to war, gold inlays and etching isn't going to be the priority because that's going to take time to produce.
No,
So
dude, he just
why?
stamped that shit on there. Come on, that's
Yeah.
how forging
Yeah.
works.
Well, just like their armor, it was all 3D printed.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? Yeah, did you know 3D printers existed in Middle Earth? That's how they made all these swords. Let me
It's
see
the
if I can.
magic of the elves.
Okay. Oh yeah. So here, this is a good one. You can see the swords. You like this scene, didn't you? I don't know that we're gonna spend much time on this scene because this is where I exploded.
The
But
the amount of smug looks that the guy
she's still,
Ladriel gives,
yeah, she's
it,
still
it
wearing the
is.
same outfit too, by the way.
Yep. And so's Elendio.
Yeah, it's always Halbrand.
Only time you ever see him different is when he puts on his gherkin.
But this sword fight is probably the most cringiest thing I've ever seen on my, I should say, in my life. It was terrible, horrid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired of having to believe that this one, like, and it's not just this 1v18 people and the one person is gonna kill him thing.
Right.
They need to stop it. It's just ridiculous. Especially in this one, she should be dead several times over, or hit several times over. She's
Yes.
doing her little flippy twists and her little, crouching tiger, hidden dragon poses, standing up straight and making a face. It's like, I don't believe it for a second.
While 3 stand still and 2 only make an attack move.
Right. I don't believe it for a second. And
Yeah.
the minute I don't believe it is the minute that you've lost all credibility and taken me out of the scene. Because it's just, meanwhile, doing this with real swords, probably not a great idea either, but we won't go there.
No. Why would you? If you're trying to prep your soldiers for war, you're going to use a weighted element, but it's not going to be with real swords. It would be a blunted sword that's not going to cause injury or anything severe. But all the moves are so dumb.
Yeah, and he's in there flailing. Like, these are supposed to be. Are these like new recruits, or are these just like?
That's
idiots?
What bothers me about this. So one, why would you sit there and offer lieutenant to anybody who can touch the elf? That's dumb. Then the kid gets promoted to lieutenant because he cut the cloth on her sleeve. And it's like, what does not do harm at all is going to get somebody a promotion.
Well, and that proves nothing. You have proved, like, what does that have to do with anything that would make him
Lucky
promotable?
shot.
He could be
Right.
completely terrible freaking officer.
Yeah.
He could know nothing about weapons and tactics. He could have just got lucky and got you in the arm. It's like, oh,
Right.
that's great.
And add to that, if this is the caliber of troops that you have,
Yeah.
Your timetable to move on the ocean. Oh, and I need to get back to that thought.
Yeah.
Your timetable to move on the ocean should be way out there. Because you obviously got a lot of people to train, because you've said 500 people are coming. Okay. 500 people. Do you remember how many ships?
Well, there were five.
Right. How in the hell are 500 people going to fit on those ships?
Well, now it's three. And horses, by the way. And they're supposed
Oh,
to have
that's
horses
right.
on there.
Yes.
So you're going to
Yep.
fit 500 people on three ships with horses. So that means that are we some in judging by the battle scenes we've seen, 500 horses. So you're going to bring 500 people, 500 horses on three boats.
Dude.
Because I don't even that
Right.
all the Isildur's storyline is stupid. I don't even care to even
So
talk about
dumb.
it. He's a pussy. He's a wimp. He's an idiot. I hate Isildur. It's terrible.
And
All the
every reason that
bullshit
was given to
political.
him, all the reasons given to him why he's not on the ship were absolutely right.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, but he gets his own way because he pulled the one guy off of the ship, which he lied about.
Yep.
And it's like, why would you lie? Why
Well,
wouldn't you sit there and say, this guy just bombed the ship?
Yeah.
And I brought him, I saved him so that we can question him why he would do something like that.
Yeah, because you were afraid because you were. So I think you reporting a guy of sabotage will gain you more favor than you being afraid of being brought up as being a stowaway. That you're supposed to think that those are equal things. It's like, no, definitely not equal. You could be like, you know what, I was stowing away, but then, lucky I was stowing away because I caught this guy sabotaging us. So now that's going to be the drama the whole time because whatever the gray bearded guy is obviously looking to enslave the elves, so that's the tension there. I'm going to use her to make us. It's like, oh my god, I don't.
Yeah. And the downstream effects of that. I mean, it is scripted plot armor so that Farazan still remains in power.
Farazan, there you go. That's his name.
And that his son is him being saved. It's going to be a pull against Isildur and his sister because she's dating that kid. And so now there's going to be an emotional pull there. So it's all about building drama, not actual things that matter in the show.
Yeah, it's total CW drama bullshit.
Yeah,
it really is. It's just I almost forgot about. I just happened to pull this guy out of we were fishing in the middle of the night right by the boats. I just happened to be there, and so I pulled him out. And the boat happened to blow up too, by the way. Nothing to do with what we were doing.
Right.
Like,
and he gave some like it was a leaky keg or something like that he said to his dad. And if he'd because he's lying to his dad about what caused what possibly caused it, that what he had said would make me suspicious about Isildur. Why would you say that it was this? That doesn't make any sense. And so at this point, Isildur's put himself as a potential person to be to blame for the explosion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
disgruntled soldier that didn't get his way decided to blow it up, right? So I just, it's so bad, man. And then you know what? And then the storyline that I almost completely forgot because it's so boring and pointless. I totally forgot about Durin and Elrond. And I don't. I immediately. So Elrond has just cemented himself as one of the biggest galactic idiots on the planet in this episode. Number one, I don't know how transparent it was to everybody as it was to me that is it Gilgalad's the king, right?
Yeah.
Gilgalad's the king. Who's the Smith guy? I forget his name. I don't know why.
Celeborn.
Okay. So Gilgalad.
No, it's not Celeborn. Celeborn is Galadriel's husband. Yeah, Celebrimbor.
Okay.
I believe.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
So
Gilgalad is totally grilling Durin about this, full welling he knows that they found the ore. He fucking knows it. Like, this is bullshit, right?
Right.
So then Durin, we're supposed to think Durin is crafty by the end of this, because Durin then says, "Oh, this table is sacred rock." Sacred rock. And I said it out loud when I was watching it, like, so this is some bullshit thing to deflect, to try and get him off balance so he stops talking about the mithril, right? And then, of course, at the end of the episode, that's exactly what it was. Durin's sitting there going, "Yeah, I was really smart. I needed a new table." It's like, no, I completely saw through that. And anybody, maybe it's just me, I saw it completely as transparent. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, and he said that this rock grows at rock grows.
Apparently, in Middle Earth.
That's news to me. You know, and the whole thing about the light of the Silmarils being what created mithril, and that they need the mithril to be able to survive.
So are they
in Middle Earth?
This is where I got really confused. So besides for that, are they supposed to eat the mithril, or are they talking about making armor for themselves?
That's a real good question, because
like, I don't understand. Like I thought they were talking about making armor for themselves and a mithril to protect them. Not
and see, and I need to read the Silmarillion again, because I don't recall the Silmarils being life-giving.
Well, of course, we had to get a Balrog in here too, by the way.
Yeah. What I remember the Silmarils being is just these elements of immense beauty that gave them a reminder of the two trees of Valinor, and that Feanor created them as these just things of immense wonder, and that because they were so brilliant, Morgoth wanted them too. And that's what they went to war over the Silmarils being taken by Morgoth. But to sit here and say that they are life-giving, and that the light of the Valar, right? Is that what it was? The light of the Valar
I think so.
Is leaving us, is what Gil-galad said, which, I'm sorry, that is a line from Return of the King.
Yep.
When Elrond takes Arwen's hands and says, "Oh, the light of the Valar is leaving you."
Yeah, another one.
Yep. You know, and it's just kind of like, wait a minute, hold on a second. You know, that's, you know, you either so their whole existence in Middle Earth, if it's not done by spring, their whole existence in Middle Earth then depends upon Durin and Mithril, so that Lord of the Rings can happen, so that The Hobbit can happen, you know, so that the rest of the Second Age can happen, all the precursor events of 3,000 years in the Third Age can happen. It is so stupid.
Well, where are they coming up with these timelines too? It's like you've judged the growth of, like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do they know the timing of any of this? It's like, we only have this long. Well, how? Why? How do you know that?
Reasons.
And then, like, and then the thing that upset me the most about this whole storyline was the fact that Elrond is so stupid, and that, well, not only is Elrond stupid, but Gil-galad is also stupid, because Elrond, by keeping going and saying, "Did they find something, Elrond? I said an oath. I won't tell." You just told him.
Right.
You just told him. Like,
but tell me. No, I said an oath. I can't tell you.
I will, even if it means saving my people, an oath means something. So I won't tell you that I know what I know, that I told you I wouldn't know, because I said an oath. So they have it. I said an oath. So they have it. I didn't say that, but I'm not going to tell you that either, because I said I wouldn't say that. It's like, dude, the moment you didn't come around and say no, and said, "I said an oath not to, and I won't break it," You said yes, you dumb fuck. And then the fact that
Right.
and then it's like, am I supposed to, like, isn't it supposed to be Gilgalad like trying to get him to just admit it, or does he really not understand that he's admitting that they found the mithril by that denial of saying I won't tell anything because of my oath? Like, does
Right.
Gilgalad not understand that he's like?
These writers operate on uh on this kind of political non-speak type stuff. Like, if you don't directly say it, then you never said it type of thing, and they include that in the operation of the script. It is really pathetic writing.
Well, then we're supposed to think he's like, and then you're supposed to have this big ass like. The more episodes that go by, the more I'm hating the character of Durin. I hate his face, expressions that the actor makes.
Uh-huh.
You know, the smugness, and then like we're supposed to be trying to get this Gimli freaking Legolas vibe, which they miss completely. You know, because they're the odd couple, the elf and the dwarf, the odd couple friends. Just like, no, not getting that at all. I don't believe their friendship at all, and I don't think Durin is the smart guy. And you know him going, oh, and then freaking Elrond comes right out and says to Durin basically, you know what? I came for ambition, and that ambition turns out that it was for the mithril after all.
But I didn't know it. So
But
how
I
do you
didn't
know
know it.
if
And it's like, and he's not pissed. He's not even mad. He's like, there was no
well,
like, I knew it. I fucking knew it all along. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Nothing.
and
He's fine with it.
yeah, and then Elrond says some stupid line about the thing not said to a friend. It can be misconstrued or something. Can cause strife or whatever. It was some stupid like pearl of wisdom statement that meant absolutely bunk. And then Durin says, "Oh, you had a saying. I can do you one better. Give me the raw meat and give it to me, or give me the meat and give it to me raw."
Wow, Jesus Christ Almighty. Lord in heaven, give me strength.
This is what made Durin straight and made him want to go to Disa. Was
I mean, look at
getting
that
that
face.
answer to that question.
Does that look like a heterosexual dwarf right there? I don't know. He's on the down low. I don't know, man. I know we're all over the place, but I think we covered everything. I mean, oh, and then of course we'll end with the stupidest looking armor I've ever seen. Look at how stupid their armor looks.
Mm.
It looks plastic. Does it not look plastic?
It's horrible. That's not going to stop a BB.
It doesn't look. Some of the detail work looks good. If you made it, if you took the time to actually make it look like metal, or armor, it doesn't look like armor.
And they're all walking around proud and celebrating, like, "Oh, we're going off to war." It's like, that's not how you go off to war, but okay.
Well, they're teenagers in the CW, so they're about to
Right.
have good old tales to tell. Oh wait, then we got to end with the most stupid.
Dude, and the music rise coming off of this, and how everybody was looking at her.
We are supposed. So let me see if I got the sound. Oh, I don't know if I do, but the arrogance of this shot that this is supposed to invoke a feeling of something in us. All I felt was utter disgust. I hate Galadriel so much. They have done such work to make her a dislikable character.
Yeah. On the rumors of recasting her are hilarious.
Oh, good lord, that's never going to happen.
No, they spent too much money on her.
Ooh, that was sort of loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. Sorry, everybody.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, maybe okay. So maybe it's not going to come across.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, it may on your side since you're recording it.
Yeah. Let's try it again. All right. Let me turn it down a little bit. I don't want to blow up anybody's eardrums. We'll lower it down. Here we go. Watch. Oh, we didn't even get the good shot. Hold on. Let me back it up a little bit.
Entry onto the boat.
Oh, this is when they call him a horse fucker. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no, that's not
yeah,
it.
and the whole reconciliation thing is so contrived. Like,
Is
oh,
this
well,
it?
you're having a hard time, so we'll reconcile now.
I don't even like the hilts to their swords. At least these swords are better shaped. Ugh. All right, here we go. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck right off. Like, this is supposed to be some epic grand entrance. And all I can
Right.
think of is, like, I don't believe it. And then on top of it, this I'm going to give this one to the Emporial. Where did she get that armor from?
Thank you. Thank you. It is
Where did the
clearly not
armor come
Numenorian.
from? This is the same armor she was wearing before.
Oh,
This
was
is
she
the
wearing the
same.
same armor?
This is the same armor. I'm almost positive this is
Man.
the same armor from the caves and the fucking the frost or troll.
Oh
Maybe
my!
you can look it up quick. I'm almost
I'm
positive
going
it is
to.
because it's got the little chainmail little things in there. I am almost positive this is the same armor. If it's not, then I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter. How did they make this? Like, well, not even how did they make this. Why did they make this special suit of armor for her, but nobody else? I mean, freaking Halbrand gets the same crappy 3D printed armor that everybody else does. And it's ridiculous. And if it's not the same armor, it's too close to make us think that it's not. The fact that most people are looking at it going, that's the exact same armor she had on before. How did she get it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, it's so bad.
it's the first thought I had. It was, how did she get the armor?
Yeah. Well, and the music swell was just insulting. You go through this rise in music, and the music, I swear to you, every time I hear this music, it does nothing for me. Okay, let's see. She's got it's soap opera-ish.
No, I hate.
Um,
I really can't stand the music. I've said it from the first episode.
yeah.
I don't think the
Okay, I'm
music's any
I'm
good.
looking at the first episode now, and it's got the chainmail piece. I'm looking for the breastplate.
It's one of those, the music. I don't think I think it's cheap orchestra generic crap. And I don't think it's anything unique. I think they could. It's definitely not Lord of the Rings music. Not even close. It's not. It's just generic and plain. And then it's just like it doesn't bring you to like, I don't know. This didn't get me all like, whoa, look at how, wow, Galadriel's girl boss again. It's not. It's like, oh my god, Galadriel finally decided to change clothes for once. My goodness. I don't know. So what's the verdict?
Looking at it, it's just the chainmail. I don't think she had the breastplate.
No,
I
okay.
could be wrong unless I'm not seeing it, but
I don't know. I feel like it's close enough that it's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, when she was being crowned by Gilgalad.
Oh no, that armor was completely different.
Yeah,
I'm talking about. I think it was like I thought it was like the first scene of the show with the ice troll thing.
Yeah.
I thought that's where the armor was from, but
and by the way, when she introduces herself a couple episodes ago to Muriel, she says "Commander of the Northern Armies," right?
Right.
That's a lie. Because at the point that Gilgalad puts her on a boat to go back to Valinor, he has to appoint a new commander of the Northern Armies. There is no Northern Army commander at that point that she holds.
Right.
She's been removed.
They don't even know she's alive at this point, right? She jumped off that boat.
Exactly. I bet you that I mean, well, the people in Valinor don't know she's alive. The people in Middle Earth think that she's over in Valinor.
Yeah.
So she'll come over, and there's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if she holds a coup and she gets crowned king over Gilgalad.
Probably. Yeah.
No, because she brought Sauron back to power.
Well, yeah, because her and Sauron, it's going to turn out that she's the root of all evil, which would be great because I hate her.
All sorts of evil.
I hate her.
In this show.
Nerporial did bring up a good point. He asked where her husband's at in all this. And it's like, No husband. Doesn't exist. Not in this anyway.
Yeah.
So
there is rumor that they're going to introduce him as a love interest later.
Whatever.
You know, it's like, oh, okay, so she hasn't been married for thousands of years already with a child. Okay.
No, of course not, because that would make her weak, right?
Yeah.
Because being a mother is weakness.
It is.
Which it's not. I mean, I'm being sarcastic. Anybody that's trying to take my word.
I know you are.
Oh boy. So yeah. So did I miss anything from the episode? I'm sure we missed lots of crap, but that's about all I can tolerate.
I hope we missed. I just want to miss the rest of it, but I know that there's a lot of meat off this bone to pick.
It's crazy how bad it is, man.
It's honestly, folks, read the source material.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy because this is one of the higher ranks. You still think this episode was up there compared to the other ones?
And the only barometer that I have for that is because for the first time in 5 episodes, we actually have some plot movement. There's actually
even if the plot is nonsensical.
even as nonsensical as it is, it is insanely bad. But it did have movement to it, which is why I'm being lenient in my rating with it. It is the first time, at the very least, it's the first time that this show has not. Each episodes 1 through 4 decreased in my estimation. Each one was like a generous 2, less than 2, barely over a 1, a 1. Right. They went in order downward, and so I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this rating. It's not the worst episode. It's insanely bad. But it's the first time that the show has actually shown upward movement in my ratings.
Yeah.
So, yeah. By the way, that's how much they were given, and I know people have seen this before.
Yeah.
But that's the appendices of Return of the King.
Yeah. They still didn't touch any of that, did they? Word, names and places.
That's really all that they wanted.
Names and places.
They get some basic plot points out of it. Then the rest of it, they can add more names.
Well, it's just like Wheel of Time, names and places, no substance. So
yeah, absolutely.
Oh boy. Well, I guess on to the next one. I guess we're in this together at this point.
I hate that phrase. We're in this together, everybody. Coof.
Yeah, that's true. We're not in this together. I'll come up with a better one.
No, we're supporting.
Hold on to your butts, everybody.
we're supporting each other through this endeavor.
There you go. I like that. There you go.
Watching it with friends is the only way to watch this show.
Absolutely.
It's immediate camaraderie and therapy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, which is what looks like. So, we will be doing a live watch somewhere next week, whether it's on my channel or on Salty Texas C's channel. I think Salty is blown a gasket when it comes to this.
I think he's done.
So I think it's going to be.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody for not being able to put up with this. Absolutely. So, but yeah, so we'll get that together, and thanks for going over this shit pile with me.
Oh man, I like sitting on razor blades.
Yeah, apparently I do too. So, back to COVID, which I don't know if that's more pleasure, man. COVID or Rings of Power. At least I can recover. It's
apples
from
and
COVID.
Oranges, but
I can recover from COVID slowly, right? So I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah, reading the source material is the cure for this too. So I mean,
there's that too.
You can recover from it all.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys soon on whatever we're doing. Appreciate you checking it out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out Amanda Manethrin on his channel as well. And we will catch you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Yeah.